Hello, everyone. Welcome to a Women's Experience podcast. It's your girl, Jamesia, your challenge her coach. And today, I have a special guest on. But before I introduce my special guest, I want to say, hey, girl, hey. Hi.
Hey.
Hi. And please make sure you like, share, share with your girls. We about to talk about something, all things women. Um, we about to talk about something really, really important, something that's really, really amazing, that's been around from for a long, long time. A long, long time. So be sure to make sure you, and I'm about to share. So give me 1 second. Let me share this to my ladies in the We Society group and make sure. All right. So, welcome. I want to say welcome, as Grandma used to say in church on Sunday morning. And she do that pause. Welcome. So, let's get in it. I want to just bring on this amazing, amazing woman. Honey, listen, when I say us women are strong and we know what we got to do and we do it all right, we do it well. We do it well. My girl, we met, how many years has it been now?
It's been
4 years ago?
like two.
2 years
Not-
ago?
Well, yeah, like two, three, maybe a little bit longer, like 2.5.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we met when our daughters, her oldest baby, and then my baby girls were on the same basketball team, hooping it up, figuring it all out, doing their thing.
Yeah.
Doing their thing. So we met then and we instantly clicked. We instantly clicked then. We have kept in touch, seeing each other on social media, but as always, I saw some amazing things that she's been doing recently, and I just was like, "Hey, sis, let's talk about it." But let me introduce you to Tiffany Williams. She is a mom. She is a wife. She is a licensed natural hair stylist.
Mhm. Yeah.
She is a breastfeeding advocate. She is a home birth advocate, and she's a free birth advocate. Okay? So let me tell y'all, she ain't gonna play no games with us tonight. But welcome, Tiffany. Welcome, Tiffany. Can you share a little bit more about yourself before we get in and dig in? But make sure you guys, all that is joining us tonight, once you join, let us know you here. Let us give us a good old hello, give a good share, and ask as many questions as you like because we about to dig in just as soon as Tiffany tell us a little bit more.
Hey y'all. So yeah, like she said, like Jamisha said, I'm a wife, a mother of 6. My children are 12. My oldest, she's 12. 9. My oldest son is 9. I have a set of boy girl twins. They are 4. And my knee baby is 18 months, and then new baby right here, she's 3 weeks old today.
Yes.
Yeah. And I am, like she said, I'm a huge advocate for breastfeeding, free birthing, home birth, all things natural. I just believe in like minimalizing medical intervention when it comes to birth, for so that we have less trauma births,
Mm-hmm.
less um C-sections and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. And I also just I try my best to gentle and conscious parent. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm a
Mm-hmm.
huge advocate for that too. So yeah, that's a little bit about me.
Oh,
Been
that's
on that
new. That's
like
new for me because you can educate me on the gentle and conscious parent because I'm
yeah.
just like, what?
Yes. Right. It is. I won't say it's easy. It's tough, but worth it.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, because it's
So,
about generational curses.
yes, ma'am.
Absolutely.
I get that because part of that we are here, and for example, for one example of that generational curse type shit, you ain't getting up till you eat all that food.
Yes, yes. Oh my God. I definitely don't do that. Because I always just, if they don't, which my mom and dad didn't raise us like that either. So if you didn't eat, she would put the food away.
Yeah.
Came back later on and said, "Mama, is it anything to eat?" You get that same plate.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So tonight, what you want to share? You got something else?
Oh no, that's it.
I feel like I had jumped in. So tonight we're going to spend a little time on whatever you would like to talk about, but we're going to talk about breastfeeding. And one thing I wanted to share about myths about breastfeeding, because I breastfed 5 out of 6.
Okay.
My first child, I had her when I was 18, and so I really didn't even realize what was really going on. All I know was I was a mom, so I didn't know to be even thinking about the benefits of breastfeeding or not breastfeeding, all those types of things. Mm-hmm. But from that child on, I breastfed, I think, with AJ, I breastfed for a good little while. Harrison, I cried because the doctors told me. So he had got thrush of the mouth, and they told me that I had to stop breastfeeding, honey, because I knew the benefits of breastfeeding.
Yeah.
I was distraught. I was crying. I was like, but I don't want him to have that formula, type of thing. Yeah. I was distraught. It really messed me up. I breastfed my twins. A lot of people looked at me like, how? But the key for me was scheduling. Like they had to eat at the same time in order for this to work. Otherwise, we're going to be feeding all day long.
I understand wholeheartedly. I overstand. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. So there's myths about breastfeeding that some people have, and some of them that I've seen, it say like African American women today don't need to breastfeed. That's an absolute myth. Yeah. So would you like to share why that's a myth and why is it important with minority women that they need to breastfeed?
Right. It's a myth because all birthing bodies, that birthing bodies are anybody that can have a baby, because everybody don't identify as woman. So I say birthing bodies. Once you have a baby, you lactate. You have milk right away. There's probably maybe like less than 1% of women in the whole wide world, or birthing bodies in the whole wide world, who can't breastfeed. But the most of us, I say 99.9999 of us can and are able to breastfeed. I think that a lot of when it comes to especially like the African American community, I think a lot of the reasons why we don't breastfeed as much is because it just goes back to like slavery. Back in slavery, we our ancestors wet nursed babies and stuff, back, and then maybe like in the early 1900s or so, breastfeeding was more so like when formula came about. Formula was like more so a luxury. So to breastfeed was kind of more so like a poor person's thing. So that I think that's where the whole stigma that that, you know, and then of course the sexualization of the women, you know, of the woman's body, of breasts,
Yeah.
that too. So, you know, people look at it like, oh, you got a baby up there. You know, you see cleavage every day on,
Every day.
you know, social media, on in the media. No
Yeah.
anything, but a woman takes her breasts out to use them for the actual what they were
The
given
purpose it was
for.
designed for.
You
Yeah.
know, it's a problem. You know, a lot of people
Yeah.
think that's a problem. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's where a lot of that, you know, in the African American community was like with slavery. You know,
Hmm.
I think that's where that started at.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It was kind of more so, I guess, like a stand for our ancestors to be like, well, you know, we ain't got to nurse. We ain't got to nurse their babies anymore. We don't have to
Yeah.
nurse our own babies anymore.
Right.
We're
Right.
free now.
Right.
So yeah.
Right. Right.
Hmm.
Another myth is everyone uses formula.
That's a myth.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Yeah.
you saw.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, but no, yeah, obviously that's a myth. Uh, I feel like breastfeeding is becoming more normalized now.
It
So
is. I think so too.
yeah, you do see more people, you know, nursing versus formula feeding. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with formula feeding if you choose to not breastfeed, or if you
Correct. Correct.
issues with breastfeeding or whatever. It's not a easy task, I will say that, but
Yeah.
it's one of those things where it's just like anything else that you want really bad. If you want it bad enough, you know, you'll find ways to make it work.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and then there may be situations where a baby needs something. I don't know. I needed something a little heavier, or they have acid reflux or something like that. It's not that everybody uses formula, but it's just might be something medically where they
Right.
have to change and do something different. A type of situation. I used to think, and I think when I was deciding to initially breastfeed,
Mm-hmm.
I got hit with the people who use formula, said, girl, why would you do that when all you got to do is make a bottle?
Right.
Type of thing, and keep it going. I'm just like, because there's so many more benefits with
Yeah.
breastfeeding. My baby will be healthy.
It's just, I think of it like formula is okay, yes, but in my honest opinion, there's nothing more better for your baby than breast milk. That baby
Yeah,
milk is literally tailor made for
yeah,
that baby. You
yep,
know,
yep,
like
absolutely.
ailment that baby has, when the saliva goes into the breast from, you know, the baby suckling, any ailment that baby has, that breast detects it, sends signal to the brain, and it starts making antibodies for that issue, that ailment that the baby has.
Absolutely,
Formula,
absolutely.
that, you know.
It's not.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. It's that smart milk. That breast milk is that smart milk. Um, Formula. Another myth is formula feeding is easier than breastfeeding.
I say that's a myth.
That's a
Because
whole. That's a
I've done
whole myth.
that's a whole myth, because I've done both, and with my oldest two, I breastfed all my babies, but them I didn't last as long as I did with the last four. So
Mm-hmm.
my oldest two, I think they had powder. I think
Mm-hmm.
powder, and I think my oldest might have had like the liquid too. You had to like, I know with the powder you had to mix it. So I'd be up in the middle of the night mixing bottles
Mixing bottles.
versus breastfeeding
Here,
in the bed, and I just
here, here.
and latch
So,
her. I don't have to get up.
honey, so that myth is an absolute lie. Breastfeeding is so much easier.
Yeah.
It's natural temperature that it needs to be. They ain't no needing to warm it up, needing
I
to.
would definitely say that breastfeeding is, in my opinion, more convenient
Yeah.
versus like me when it comes to getting up, having to get up out of my bed, or just like go make a bottle, or even when I leave, when we go out.
Mm-hmm.
Pandemic, of course, we haven't been out.
Yeah.
She's just 3 weeks old, so we haven't been out. But when I did have to go out with my formula fed babies, you know, you had to make sure you had the milk. The milk got to be the right temperature.
Right.
But
Right.
when we go out now, it's just change of clothes, wipes, diapers. You
That's
know,
it. And keep it going.
milk is ready. You know to go.
Absolutely. Oh, another myth is if your breasts are too small, you can't breastfeed.
Yeah, no. I'm not
Honey.
that busty. I made plenty of milk.
Listen.
But your breasts don't like the size of your breasts don't determine like how much milk you make.
Yeah.
That's Ivana at the door trying to get in the door.
She's like, what does mama talk about in there?
Hey,
absolutely, because your body is gonna produce what the baby needs.
Exactly
like it's
what the baby needs. Like in your earlier like weeks or couple months into breastfeeding, the body is in an oversupply because it's trying to figure out exactly how much the baby needs. But once
right,
you make literally what the baby needs.
right. So how about breastfeeding spoils a child? Is that a myth?
Myth. You can't spoil a child. You can't spoil a child at all. A lot of people I know, there's
It's gonna be a lap. What they say? That lap baby. All you do is hug.
You gotta understand though that a baby grows inside of you for like 9-10 months.
Yep.
You are all like that baby knows. I mean, that baby knows your voice, your heartbeat, everything. Why wouldn't you want to be close to that person at all times?
Right.
You know.
Right. Right.
Or the baby just love you.
So here's to say formula has more vitamins than breast milk.
Myth.
Absolute myth. When I found out that everything my child needs is in my breast milk, like that's why I was so upset when I had to stop with Harrison, because I was just like, but what formula is going to even equate to my breast milk?
Right.
I was messed up.
Yes.
One last one. You can't breastfeed in public.
Says who?
Says who? Who said that? And how does they say give value to what I do?
It's legal in all 50 states to breastfeed in public. Like you can't get in trouble for breastfeeding in public.
Right.
People can feel how they feel and say what there are laws in place to protect breastfeeders and chest feeders, you know, so that they can comfortably feed their babies, you know, in public with or without a cover.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so, and just one fact that I saw, it said over 83%, just to go along with the myths, it said over 83% of women actually breastfeed in the United States. And that's a lot of women.
Those numbers are looking a lot better than in the recent years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I could see where, I don't know, it was just so much easier for me. With breastfeeding. Like it was nothing. But I was also a stay-at-home mom too. So what words of encouragement could you give to a mom who is clocking in, 8 hours a day and having to leave their child and the breast,
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? To make sure.
Right. Definitely know the laws, know that she is by law, the breastfeeder, chest feeder is allowed to take breaks for pumping, just because that's your way of nourishing your baby.
Right.
So you are allowed to, have certain breaks at work for that. Mm-hmm. And all employers are supposed to supply a place for you to pump comfortably at work.
Absolutely.
Comfortably, um, you don't have to do it in the bathroom.
Right.
I can't stand that. Somebody, why?
Yeah.
I can't. I don't even. No, ma'am. I wouldn't eat in the bathroom. I'm not gonna have a baby in the bathroom. But yeah, employers have to allow you to, times to breastfeed.
Gotcha.
Not breastfeed, but pump at work.
Gotcha.
It happening in order for you to maintain a good supply.
Mm-hmm.
That should be happening every 2 to 3 hours, really.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because that baby can't go hungry for who? So why would my baby go hungry because you have some type of opinion about what I should do?
Mm-hmm.
Your opinion has no value when it comes to my baby getting what my baby needs. So have a seat, ma'am and sir.
Please.
Have a seat, ma'am and sir. Now, I know with me, when I breastfed, and you let me know, it was easier for me to express the milk by hand versus the pump. I couldn't get with the pump, no matter what type of pump I had.
Yes,
I felt violated with the pump, to be honest.
And like people who solely pump their milk and get it, because I can't stand. I hate to pump. I have to like literally make myself pump.
Gotcha.
And it is easier for me to handle express too.
It's so much easier. It comes out so much easier for me expressing myself versus using the pump. Mm-hmm. And I was just not gonna try to, duck goose with the pumps. Right. Just see which one works the best versus where I can use it myself. Mm-hmm. But what else is it? So I did see somewhere where ladies, when they make like a very healthy supply of milk, mm-hmm. so more they can freeze it and they can donate it to. Uh-huh. So can you tell me more about that? You know more about that?
There are it's a lot of groups on Facebook too, like donor groups. Mm-hmm. Who would give you milk for free. Sometimes you can. I think you can do it like give milk to the hospital, mm-hmm. Hospitals and stuff like that too, for like babies in NICU or
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But I think that's awesome.
That's where you do like donor milk. You can donate it to milk banks.
Gotcha. Yeah. So what advice would you give to a mother who she's trying to decide whether she wants to use formula or she wants to breastfeed? What advice or wisdom you would give her to not, push her a certain way, but just to let her know, hey, this is the benefits. What advice would you give a mother?
I would say honestly, if you know that you are trying to get pregnant, if you know that you're trying to conceive, and you want to, there's 2 ways to feed a baby, either breast milk or formula.
Yeah.
Research both and weigh your pros and cons of both before it gets to that point. Because I see where a lot of people, they will have the baby and then they decide like, I think I want to try to breastfeed. And breastfeeding to me is one of those things where I feel like you should do like some research, take some classes, talk to a IBCLC, internationally board certified lactation consultant, or a certified lactation consultant, a peer counselor, for breastfeeding, somebody to help you, figure out what it is that you want to do. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. It's kind of like, even with formula, if you're gonna go that route, just do your research. Yeah. Try to figure out which one's best for which one is for your baby, and all that. So.
Because we need consistency. The baby needs consistency, because I know even with my kids, good luck finding a good nipple for a bottle once you transitioning from breastfeeding to trying to give them a bottle and
Yeah.
switching back and forth. They don't want that. You have to be find something so close to your breast that
And
they will actually take it.
that could be the other way around too. Like because you can always relactate.
Yeah.
But if you start out with bottle feeding or formula feeding, and then you decide that I want to latch my baby, that's gonna have to be a process.
Yeah.
The milk. There you go.
Mhm.
The milk comes out of the nipple of a bottle quicker and faster. They don't have to
Mhm.
work as hard to get the milk
Mhm.
out of a bottle versus
Mhm.
breast. But they wouldn't know that if they don't know the difference if
Right.
you introduce a bottle yet. But once you introduce that bottle, or if you introduce that bottle and you give it to them regularly, they may not want to latch,
Absolutely.
as much because it's they have to work harder to get it out of the breast.
Right. Right.
Not gonna struggle if like it's easier for you or me to eat with a fork when I eat my Chinese food versus
Yep.
the chopsticks. I can't eat with the chopsticks, so I'm gonna choose a fork. It's easier, so
Yep.
the
So
same baby in that, the breast and the bottle. Mm-hmm.
gotcha. So I want to say congratulations on that little bundle of joy with all the babies, but the little bundle of joy, your orange, she is 3 weeks
Mm-hmm.
um on this earth, and you decided to go a different route than you have before.
I did. It was a bit radical this time versus my last few. But my first two babies I had vaginally in the hospital. I didn't have an epidural with them, but I did have I can't think of the name of the medicine that they give you in the IV, but I had that the first two times with my first two.
Hmm.
And then my twins were born C-sections. They were born via C-section. Um and them I breastfed for 16 months. So far that's been the longest that I've breastfed. And
Gotcha.
Vanna, I made it to 14 months because I was pregnant with India. And so around like 14 months I kind of just
Hmm.
dried up. But Ivana was my first vaginal birth after my cesarean with the twins. And
Gotcha.
I had her, in the hospital, and Ivana's my second birth, but my
Hmm.
vaginal birth after cesarean, but I we had her at home.
Gotcha.
So she's a
Awesome.
home birth after cesarean baby.
So
Mm-hmm.
you have had experience with all the
Like
birds.
all
That's
of
awesome. So which
yes.
one would you? How was that experience with going with the home birth?
Okay, it was an unassisted home birth. Unassisted meaning that there was no one here medically qualified to deliver a baby. So
Gotcha.
no midwife, no OB. It was just me, my husband, my mom, my dad, and all of our children were here, and my two doulas were here. And a doula, a lot of people get doulas mixed up with. I'm a doula myself. A lot of people get doulas mixed up with midwives. Doulas don't. We're not qualified or medically qualified to catch babies, deliver babies.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Are there to support the birthing person, during and after birth. That's
Gotcha.
as doulas. But so I tried to find a midwife that would take me and assist me with my birth, but I was unable to find a midwife in North Carolina because here in this state in North Carolina, certified professional midwives are not legally not allowed to do home births.
Why is that?
I'm not sure. I know that it's two different ones. You got the CPM, which is a certified professional midwife,
Hmm.
who is not allowed to do home births. I think that they can work alongside a CNM, which is a certified nurse midwife. Now she's
Gotcha.
able to do a home birth, but I don't think that they are. Now they can do it like they can assist the birth. Like me, I'm considered a VBAC. You know,
Okay.
I've had babies. I've had a C,
Gotcha.
but I've had babies vaginally since my C-section.
Gotcha.
I think that they're not supposed to assist VBACs because every one of them turned me down. Like that I tried to get in touch with. And I would let them know like, well, I had a baby after, my
Yeah.
I've already had.
Yeah.
You are once you had that C-section, you are a C-section birther
Gotcha.
all the time.
Gotcha.
Even if you just had one, they still look at you like, well, you're a risk. So
Gotcha.
I was just like, I read and researched and I was like, I'm gonna go at this myself, like, because ultimately it's the birthing person who has the baby. Like nobody
Right.
have the baby for you, and
Right.
the doctors, OBs and midwives, they pretty much coach you through it.
Gotcha.
Telling you to push and this and that, and but I was so in tune with my body, and like I said, I did a lot of researching and reading prior to having her, so I was ready. That day when I went into labor at 1:00 that morning, 5:00,
Mhm.
she was here that morning, so I was like laboring for about 4 hours.
Wow. But see, that's the most important thing, being in tune with our bodies.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's another part that we need to, as women, need to understand, not even when we're birthing, but
Right.
just period.
Period.
We
Yeah.
need to know
Mm-hmm.
what our body rejects, what our body say, okay, I'm okay with this. We
Uh-huh.
just really need to understand and learn our bodies, period. And that's great that you said that, because that would benefit a woman who is on her first child, or
Absolutely.
like she knowing, okay, I did this.
Mm-hmm.
Even if a provider, a doctor will say, hey, because they have the general lay on your left side, drink some
Yes.
water to
Uh-huh.
ease this, this contraction or whatever, but that may not work for me.
And another thing I did too was, okay, media, anytime you see a birth, like, okay, if you watched a movie or you've seen a show where a birthing person, a woman is giving birth,
Yeah.
they make it seem like it's so extreme, it's so painful, it's this, is that. I tried to, in my mind, I told myself that it's not a painful thing, it's a
Yeah.
natural thing,
Yeah.
and that it's just intense,
Yeah.
it can get really intense, but it's
Yeah.
not like, if you stay ahead of like the pain or the intensity, you because the end goal is worth it. The
Yep.
worth
Absolutely. Yeah.
and it's crazy because soon as baby is here, that pain just,
Automatically go.
it's like, what in the world? I was like this close to,
Breaking everything in here.
yeah. I was, I just kept reminding myself, and I had like affirmations posted, and I would do affirmations,
Awesome.
all that, yes,
Awesome.
get
I
myself.
and that's something with what you're saying, that's something that when I had my kids, that's something like my grandma and my mother would tell me,
Mm-hmm.
hey, you was made for this.
Mm-hmm.
Just breathe through it. Just breathe through it. And that what got me through. So with every child, I made sure I remembered, hey, breathe through this thing. Like, don't, because when you scream, and I learned with the first child, screaming ain't gonna do nothing but cause more pain.
And that is it.
I was like, what is this going on? We have a young lady who commented, Alexis. She says, I plan to do a unassisted birth at home, first baby. I know I can do this. Yes, ma'am. Absolutely, you can do it.
Definitely can. I would say just again, read and research as much as you can about unassisted birth. And I mean, look, I would be up at like 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Watching videos, watching people burn, like, let me turn my phone down. You got the women in the, they moaning and have, in birth having the baby. But I'm like, I was obsessed with everything, home birth, everything. I was just water birth, home birth, just
Yeah.
free birth. I researched and read. It was one book that I read called Unassisted Childbirth. I think the author's name is Laura Kaplan. It's Laura Kaplan something. She had like 2 last names.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, baby. They calling this. Okay.
She's like, mama, time up.
I'll be still out. But that book really like got me into the mindset. It was talking about in one part of the book where like when animals, dogs, cows, horses, mammals, when they go into labor, they usually go off in seclusion somewhere. They'll go off in private to have their babies. And I know it was one excerpt book where this guy he was talking about when his cats went into labor. His children and his wife and him were standing around her, and her labor had stalled for like 2 hours. And so he gathered the children and was like, let's leave her and see what happens. And they left her for 20 minutes. When they came back, she had birthed the whole litter.
Right.
And I remember in my own birth, with India, I remember laying here. My mama, my mama was right here at the edge of this bed. I was down here at the edge, and she was sitting right here. And every time I would have a contraction, I would grip the end of the bed, and I just I would just breathe through it, and she just would go, like she could feel it. My mama was remembering the pain, of when she labor with us. But when my mom left out of the room, she left out of here for a little while. It's like my body just went into like overdrive. It was it was progressing real fast. I said, oh my God, like, am I about to because at that point I was in the room by myself. I said, oh my God, I'm about to have her in here by myself.
Like, okay, thanks for the space, but somebody come back, because
really, when she left out, it really helped me to go ahead and really get things pushing.
That's awesome insight. Because when you have a whole bunch of people, you know how when somebody say, what's wrong with you? And then you automatically start crying more.
Yeah. So what? Because mama, I was like, in my head, I didn't want to like tell my mama, get out, or anything like that.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God. And she said, one more time. Yes. But it was crazy. Like I said, once she left. So I don't know if I have any more. Because she is number 6. But now if I do.
I don't even believe that. For some reason, I don't even believe you.
If I do, I will be like, I will do it again unassisted all day.
Awesome.
But I will be like in the room by myself. Like, y'all let me do my thing.
Yeah. Be in your own zone.
Mm-hmm.
And that's also more of you knowing your body and notice what you need. Like, get away. Give me a moment.
Yeah.
So Alexis says, who do I call in my county?
Okay.
Wait a minute. She said, where do I call in my county for a birth certificate?
Okay, so I'm working on that right now. I had to, because I think they say it is county by county. Like, I think they do it differently per county.
Okay.
Duplin County, I had to get in touch with this lady at the health department.
I
had to do was go on the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services website and print out the birth certificate form.
Mm-hmm.
I have filled that out, and I have to have 2 signatures from, and I'm using my husband and my mama, being that they were here.
Yeah.
State that they witnessed that I was pregnant, and they witnessed my birth, and we have to get that notarized. So just those 2 signatures and getting that notarized, and then printing off the birth certificate form, filling that out, and I take it to her. And I think that from there, she sends it to the necessary departments, get her birth certificate and Social Security.
So I guess it's fair to say, Alexis, let's ask you a question. Are you in the United States? Are you in North Carolina? Kind of give us an idea of where you are. Um, that would be. I'm interested in knowing
Right.
where you
What
actually.
I did was got up with Vital Records in Raleigh.
Gotcha.
Put your bees back in, mom. But I got in touch with Vital Records in Raleigh, and that's who they told me to get in touch with my county, and that's who
Okay.
Because
Awesome.
she said she's in Michigan, so I would try it like that. Just
Yeah.
maybe like try in her cat. It's called like the Vital Records in of their capital, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like by county or
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. One other thing I wanted to, and we can talk about whatever you like too, if you have
Okay.
something else. But what's burning on my mind is doula. You used a doula for this pregnancy with this baby here, and listen, ma'am, I had no idea about a doula when I was having my children.
Yes, and they've been around. It's just it's more so of like a trendy thing now to have a doula.
Yeah.
But it's actually been around for a long time. But I had with Ivana, that was the first pregnancy, the one right before this one.
Mm-hmm.
I had you're welcome. She said thank you.
You're welcome, Alexis.
There with Ivana, I had my birth doula, the same doula that I had with India. And then this time with India, I also had hired a postpartum doula as well. So she comes once a week for the first 6 weeks.
Gotcha.
So
that's awesome.
Yeah, Passion. She helps me with like light duties around the house, cooking, meal prepping. If she got to run like errands for me, stuff like that. Just to where I don't have that whole, being a mom of 6 and a wife.
Listen, I know, I understand. That's why I wanted to bring it up because it's so important. It's crucial because even with me, I know, and I spoke on a podcast other episodes before about when we was talking about mental health. I had severe postpartum depression after, and I think, and matter of fact, it was with Harrison. And so it could have triggered even more because of them telling me that I couldn't breastfeed anymore.
Right.
And so it was horrible. Like when I say my postpartum depression was like, I'm not really sure what I'm doing. I just know I felt like leaving everybody, just packing my stuff up and leaving.
Absolutely. I had some real dark times after I had the twins. Because adjusting to like doing everything for 2 babies was a lot. And I honestly think like breastfeeding really saved me after my twins because I knew that's how I was keeping my babies thriving and keeping them alive.
Yeah.
Just the the responsibility of 2 little ones at one time.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, time you get one sleep, this one is up. And then you get that one sleep, the other one pop up. It's like, oh my God.
It was a job just to put them on a schedule.
I'm telling you, it was so. It was rough. It was rough. Those first few months of the twins, and as they got older, and I adjusted to having the twins, and like you said, trying my best to do a schedule.
Yeah.
Every day it ain't gonna go
right. Yeah.
If you can pretty much get like that, I'm telling you, those were some dark days.
Yeah. And I think the thing is, so I say for me, I was trying to do everything like a mama was quote unquote supposed to do based off what I was told and what I seen on the TV. Like I'm supposed to do it this way and I'm supposed to do it that way. And that's one of the things I tell my, because my life coaching business, that my ladies are saying, we live based off our own expectation, not what somebody tells us.
Yep.
And so with the mothering, if somebody said, "Oh no, baby, you shouldn't do that,"
your house got to be speaking Spanish.
No, we not.
My
No,
house is not gonna be speaking Spanish with 6 kids.
Absolutely not.
And then 2 of them being 4, 1 18 months. No, you're gonna see toys here or there.
Yes, it is. Absolutely. So, that's it. It all plays into one. Like, although our topic was breastfeeding, I just really feel like doula support, postpartum doula support. I think is just
it's vital.
It is. I think it's something that's amazing, that's really needed, that I would have never known of until, once I started learning more about breastfeeding, I was just like, wait, what's this thing called? Who the doula ladies? Who are these ladies?
So, I mean, that's when, I feel like the birthing person really needs you the most. Like, it's important throughout pregnancy too, but that postpartum period is so critical, especially to your mental. Like, feeling like everything got to be speaking Spanish in line, or I got to do this, have to do that. It's got to look like this. It's got to be like that. When taking that help and sitting down, and accepting the help, I'm all for it. Like I said, family come and cook. I pay my doulas.
I think it's an amazing alternative that should be primary. And I say that because whenever I had the postpartum depression with Harrison, I was prescribed medication. I had to. I didn't know at that moment, I didn't know nothing else to do. And I didn't have people around me educated about it, as well as I wasn't educated about it. So I didn't know what else to do. So when I had my next child during pregnancy, the doctors automatically wanted to put me on medication to try to avoid me being postpartum depression with my next child.
Right.
I was bothered by it, but I also knew I didn't want to be in that headspace that I was in with the postpartum depression with Harrison. But if I would have known about the postpartum doula and, this whole circle and community of support, if I would have known, then I would have went a whole nother direction.
Yes. I really honestly think, like, if you can afford it, because you don't want to sound privileged, because everybody's financial situation ain't the same. Everybody don't have the same support, but if it's, find somebody that you can depend on to help you, especially through those first few weeks, first few months it's tough, it's rough. Babies they don't come out knowing that. They don't come out 8 hours at night, wake up in the middle of the night. They need to be changed. They need to be fed. They need to be just want to look at
I got tickled when you said that, because our seasoned folks will say, "Oh, that baby got their days and nights mixed up." They didn't never know what the day and night thing. They never knew that. But there was one more thing I was gonna.
Okay.
But so something important that you said earlier about researching.
Yes.
I would say also research about whenever with your insurance, because a lot of things are covered on your insurance.
Breast pump and all.
The breast pump, doulas is actually, I've seen they are covered on some insurance. So it's very important. Like the classes, the educational classes, they are covered. So instead of you thinking,
it was when my husband was working for Murphy Brown when I was pregnant with the twins. He don't work there anymore, but that's where he was working. They
Yeah.
a program for expectant, birthing bodies and mothers. They had it to where I think you got like a $500 gift card from either Target or Walmart. You got a breast pump. You got pregnancy support. Like, you could call the hotline, and if you had any questions or whatever, they would, answer your questions anytime. I think that was through Blue Cross Blue Shield at the time. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you are right. That was good. Always check with your insurance company.
Yeah.
And not even that, like even with women, infant, and children.
Yeah.
A lot of counties here in North Carolina, they will supply you a pump.
Mm-hmm.
You get some foods and nutritions, all
Yes.
that stuff. You can get
Yes.
it. They offer classes too. They
Yep.
have different things in place, for like if you're breastfeeding, formula feeding, even like
Mm-hmm.
transportation, I think,
Yep.
have,
Yep. So it's just key to do research in all things. Do your research in all things.
and it's really no excuse. I mean, we sit on our phones every single day scrolling
All day. Yeah.
on social media. You can
Mm-hmm.
research right from your phone. You don't have to go to
Yep.
the library. You don't have to leave. You'll have
Right.
to do it right there off your phone, computer.
Right. Right. So that's why I wanted to make sure that we iterate for the ladies that's watching, because we're not talking about stuff that's a luxury. We're talking about
Right.
things that is needed to keep us in that safe,
Mm-hmm.
sane place in our mind. And your insurance can definitely pay for majority of those things. So don't think it's something, oh, they're just talking about something that I ain't gonna be able. No, it's a lot of these things are very accessible to you that you already have the coverage for, that you didn't even know. So make sure you do, again, make sure you research those things, and make sure if you have questions about breastfeeding, reach out to some ladies, someone that you know. I know Tiffany is accessible to anybody who may have questions. Tiffany, if you can put at some point on the live your information so that you can be followed. I know we put it in the description box, but just to be sure,
Okay.
reach out to someone who don't. If you can go to the website, awomensexperience.com. Leave an email if you have questions. We can send you to the place that you need to be, but we want you to be informed. This is the whole purpose of having this podcast tonight, is to make sure that you are informed of the things that are accessible to you, and knowing the benefits that it is to breastfeed those precious babies. Those precious babies, because we think things are safe that we are told is safe. But we know what we put in our bodies also.
Right.
So we know what we put on our bodies. If our precious children came from our bodies, then definitely their food could come from our bodies.
Right. Pay for them.
So it's free food here.
Right.
Tiffany, is there anything else you would like to share with our lovely ladies that's watching? Let me wait a minute. Alexis has another question. Let me get her question. She says, "How do you keep the milk stimulated?" I hear people have trouble with that.
Literally latch your baby. If that is your goal, if your goal is if you're not gonna exclusively pump, literally latch your baby. There are no boosters you need. You don't need any lactation cookies. You don't need any body armor. You don't need any of that. Only thing you need to do is eat. Make sure you eat, because you got to keep your calories up. To keep making milk. Drink. Keep yourself hydrated. Water all the time. I'm down, but just keeping yourself hydrated and latching the baby. Now, if you plan on just pumping and exclusively pumping for baby, make sure that you're doing it every 2 to 3 hours. even at nighttime. Don't sleep through the night 12 hours.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have to be pumping every 2 to 3 hours if you plan on exclusively pumping. But yep, that literally latch the baby. Like that's it. Latch the baby. If the baby crying, latch the baby. If the baby smile at you, latch the baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
Baby sad, latch them. Latch them. Literally latch the baby.
Yep.
That's how your milk stimulated. And I know another myth is that it takes days for your milk to come in. It don't. Literally, when baby is out, your body, there's already milk before the baby is even out in your breast. It's called colostrum. It's going to be hard to pull it out of a pump because it's a little bit thicker than like your hind milk or mature milk. What happens? That milk, that colostrum milk, is full of antibodies, and they literally need drops. That a newborn's belly is like that, literally that big. So a lot of people think, oh, my baby's not getting enough. Literally drops of milk is enough in the beginning. Baby. And literally, I think they shouldn't need any more than like 4 to 5 ounces throughout their whole entire journey. It don't take much at all. And like I said, you have colostrum milk first. It's the milk that it's hard to pump, but usually within, like, if you latch that baby within the first hour of them being born, for like an hour straight, that milk, you're already building up a good supply. In her very first day here, and she was my only baby to poop. The very first day she was born, she pooped 3 times.
What?
In her diaper. So she is.
That's the stuff you look for when you have a baby. It take a while.
About an hour and a half right after she was born, And we kept her on her placenta all the way up until I birthed it. I birthed the placenta 59 minutes after she was born, so she was attached for that whole hour. And then my oldest, she cut the cord.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
So yeah.
Let me see. Make sure there's no more questions.
Okay.
I think we gave our ladies some good information tonight. Anything else you would like to share with us tonight, Tiffany?
I just want to say happy World Breastfeeding Week, because it is.
Look, I feel like I should go like this.
Right? Yes, right. It is Breastfeeding Awareness Month, and we got Black Breastfeeding Week coming up too this month. So yeah, just be confident in your body. Trust your body. Trust that your body will do what it's made to do. Be in tune with your body. Be in tune with your baby. Bond with your baby. Hold your baby. Feed your baby. Just that's about it.
It's important.
Is the hour after called the golden hour. Absolutely. That's the golden hour, is the hour after birth. And as soon as baby comes out, you should latch baby right away. And leave baby latch for as long as baby want to stay on. And you can do all of this in a hospital birth as well. You just got to know your rights. You have to know.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because they be trying to sway you and pull you this way and say, you can't do this and you can't do that. No, you have rights.
Right.
You have
Which goes back to that research. Because I just think about one of my kids. I was dehydrated a lot during the pregnancy. So I had like some false labor situations going on. So once I was really in labor, I took my time going to the hospital because I didn't want it to be another situation of being a false labor. And so when I got there, listen, I sat in the waiting room longer than I was actually in the birthing room doing nothing. They
Yep.
couldn't get a vein because I was in true labor.
Yeah.
So I was like, they told me later that they did a bet to see if I was going to give labor before the person who was there for days in labor.
Mm-hmm.
And I gave birth to that child in 30 minutes.
Yep.
Once I got in the room.
Mm-hmm.
But I knew my body, and I was sitting there in the waiting area, was like, y'all about to see this baby come out in this waiting area. But but I didn't have enough energy to fight. All I know is I had enough energy to just be, as grandma can say, in that birthing space of, you know. But it was something, but definitely know your rights. Don't, you know, as Jamesia would say, don't let them handle you any type of way. You are the advocate for your body. And so you need to let them know.
They work for you.
Absolutely.
You don't work for them.
Absolutely.
They work for you. You hire your birth team.
Yes.
They are working for you. Their interest, their best interest should be you and baby. That is it.
That changes the mindset, because initially, like when I gave birth to my kids earlier on, it was, let me go to the doctor and see what they say. Now the posture has changed when I got, you know what I'm saying? It's like, let me go tell them what's my body doing so we can see what you see. So you have to look at it not so much of because they went to school for it, yes, but you still know your body. You still absolutely know your body. You know, there was ladies back in the day that was squatting over a little puddle of water and giving birth. And we here, and we fine, you know.
Yes, so. That's it. That is it.
But yes, definitely. I am so glad you joined me, Ladybug eating again.
Yes, girl. Oh God, she is cluster feeding. Cluster feeding. When they cluster feed, they're going through a growth spurt, so they be eating. They be on. And I think during that time is when a lot of people think that, oh my God, I'm not making enough milk for my baby. It's not that. They're just going through a growth spurt. Just like with your older children, when you say, God, you just ate. You
yeah.
My older children are going through that too right now. I'm like,
but I totally get that. So I never knew that term though, like cluster feeding, because I really would get nervous thinking I wasn't making enough milk to feed the baby. Like, you know, I tell you, my first appointment, taking the baby to the doctor, from coming home, and you know, they say the baby loses weight before they start gaining. Honey, I was scared to death that I wasn't producing enough milk to make sure that the baby had enough. I'm like, what am I doing? I'm not making enough milk. I'm starving her, you know, type of thing. But it was never broke down like that. You know, hey, cluster eating, going through a growth spurt. It's not that you're not making enough. It's just that they requiring that amount from you. It's not that you're not making enough. It's just feed the baby.
Just latch the baby, literally. For everything. Latch the baby.
Yeah. Is there anything else you would like to share with us, Tiffany?
That's about it. But like I said, my Instagram is Divine Tresses by T. My Facebook is Divine Tresses by T, and my personal page, of course, is Tiffany Williams. But you know, I'm open. My inbox is always open. Because I love all things breastfeeding. You know, home birth. I be trying to, you know, answer questions. I get it. My inbox is full of not just hair related stuff, but that stuff too.
I bet. Yeah. I bet.
So feel free to shoot me a message if you know you want to talk further. Yeah, I do have YouTube as well. It's Braids by T88. I actually put my home birth video up there too.
Awesome. Yeah. All right. Thank you again, Tiffany, for taking out time to join us and share about your breastfeeding journey, your home birth journey, and how free birth is. Did I say it right? Free birth is definitely important, and just letting us know that value our own body, be in tune to our own body, and know your rights about what your body. Know that your body is yours, and nobody should be telling you what you should do with your body. So thank you for going over those myths and facts with us. I appreciate the time that you spent with us tonight. And so I just want to say thank you. Anyone who has joined, she gave us all her social media contact information. I think if we could probably put it in our content comments a little later on.
Yeah.
But definitely, and also let's not forget, she is also a business owner with doing all of that. She is our licensed natural hairstylist as well. So ladies, she is your plug.
Yeah.
She is your plug. But thank you again. I surely appreciate you for joining us. Thank you so much. And if I ever decide to have enough lies.
Well, if you do, I got you.
I ain't having no more. But when the grandkids come, I'll be like, hey, listen, let's get them exactly what they need. All right. But thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. Thank y'all for having me.
All right. Good night. Again, I want to say thank you, Tiffany. That was some awesome information. Be sure to follow her on her social media accounts. Be sure to, show us some love in the comments. We definitely appreciate her taking out the time to join us tonight. I am closing. Hey, listen, we had an amazing episode tonight, but I would not dare leave without saying thank you, everyone who joined us. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for going to our YouTube and subscribing. Thank you so very much. Also, if you have any questions, thank you for joining, Mel. Also, if you have any questions about what we went over tonight, you can go to awomensexperience.com. Send us an email. We'll definitely send you the right direction that you need to get the very info that you need. I cannot leave without telling you, hey, ladies, this is your girl. Don't forget, I'm your girl, certified life coach, Jamesia Hall. I am beginning the Redefining the Inner You group session on August the 16th. Registration started the other day. It will go through the 13th. So what does it mean to have a life coach? It means if you know there's more on the inside of you that you just have not tapped into yet, and you might need someone to help push you. You might need someone to help be your accountability ability person. You may need someone to help create a self-plan for you. I am your girl. All right. Once you join and connect with us on the social media accounts, you will see all the love that the sisterhood gives with the We Society. You will see reviews. You will see that this is real for me. I'm about all things women. All things women. Our experiences push us to be better. So if you have carried many hats, as a wife, a mom, the daughter, the sister, the cousin, and then you lost who you truly are, then let's get into the Redefining the Inner You signature session that we have. So go to awomensexperience.com, click on coaching, and let's get you registered. All right. We have an amazing event coming up on September the 11th. It is going to be a wine and design. And I told my ladies before, I said, listen, I want to do this sip and paint situation. But then I want us to come dressed up, like some Golden Girls type thing. So you have to dress up as a seasoned lady, and come enjoy yourself. link will be dropped soon. It has already been created for the Sip and Paint event on September 11th. I'm going backwards instead of forwards. Don't pay me no mind. So I'm going backwards instead of forwards. But September 11th at 6 p.m. it will be our next fun event with us ladies coming up. So I'm going to say goodnight now. I enjoyed our time. I love loving on my ladies. I love the fact that we have such a huge community of ladies that can give us insight and info in any area that we need. But until we meet again, I want you to make sure you don't allow anyone to come into your space and destroy your energy. You protect your energy. You stay in this positive space. Don't allow someone to put their expectations on you, because it is your life. You do what you decide that you need to do for your life, no matter how small it is, no matter how big it is. If it's what you need to do for you, then you do that unapologetically. All right. I love you guys. I love you guys. I love you guys. And this is your girl signing out. See you soon.